been a whole nother crazy month. I say this every month, but every month it all adds up and there's so much more. Hi, welcome to Schulte Sweetie's Homeschool YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and I'm a mom of 3 girls ages 13, 9, and 7. This is my November update. I try to do it monthly and give you kind of like a personal update and then also an update with our curriculum because inevitably something changes. We're always changing up things here. We don't do well with constant things. So I'll just kind of go personal wise. I have mentioned before my oldest daughter is in public school this year. She's been back and forth on whether she likes it or not. It's been a struggle. Right now, we're just continuing on. I've given her the option sometimes like to think about if she wanted to quit like at Christmas time after the first semester or, continue on through the year. We try not to encourage her to just make a decision on a whim because I know that for her especially, she really struggles with the pros and cons and back and forth, and it's really hard for her to make a decision, and I don't want her to just make a decision quickly and regret it. So right now we're moving on and keep going with public school. There's been things that she likes and things that she doesn't like. In October, she became Student of the Month and she liked that. But there's been some struggles that she didn't think would happen. But she's got a good group of friends and we're just moving on. She's preparing for a trip to Washington, D.C. with her 8th grade class in the spring. So we're just moving forward. So who knows what the future is going to hold with her for homeschooling, but right now she is doing okay in public school. Her grades are great, so no complaints there. So some of the things we've done, she's in a radio show in December and it's going to be It's a Wonderful Life. So she has a part in that. So she's been starting practices for that. She's also continuing practices for Peter Pan, and so is my middle daughter. They are both in Peter Pan in December. We have a crazy December, of course, again. We have practices for those. My oldest daughter is in choir with her school, so they had a Veterans Day program this year in November, and we went to that, and it was really cool. Got to see her perform in choir, and she's going to perform in December as well. I took my younger two to a field trip to a reindeer farm, and that was really fun. I have gone to see the local school nearby performed Radium Girls, so I went to see that with my oldest daughter. Our co-op has finished. We only did 6 sessions in the fall, and I think they're going to do some in the spring, but my daughters are really not interested, which is totally fine with me because one less thing on our plate to worry about. Like I said, I feel ready to calm down for the spring, and I know I say that, but I really do think we won't have the play practices and as much running, no co-op. So I think things are really going to calm down in the spring. Thank goodness. So we've just had, and then we've done some fun things with friends. My oldest had a sleepover, and my younger 2 did have a sleepover with cousins and a birthday party, and we've seen Wicked and the new Moana movie. So we've just kind of still tried to include some fun things in the mix. And I did get away with a friend for about 24 hours. We went to a city not too far away and just, we went to a Christmas village thing, little market, and a cake restaurant type thing. So we had a lot of fun and it was nice. It did not feel so stress-free because my oldest had a lot of projects due the next week, and so she was stressed out at home, texting or calling me, and then my youngest did get sick at her cousin's house, but it was still enjoyable and nice to get away, and I didn't have to deal with some of those things. So moving on to curriculum. I mentioned last month, I think it was, that we kind of changed up our science. We moved and did elemental science, a science chunk for stars, and we loved that. That was so much fun. The girls really liked that. So I decided to kind of change it up and do like unit studies with my younger two. So we did get Harbor and Sprout. I think I might have mentioned this. I can't remember. So we got like 4 units. I let them choose what units they wanted to do. And so visual arts was the first one that I decided to do. We are kind of using this, a lot of it for science. So they have science and they have nature, but they also have like history, geography, music, art, language arts, writing, so many things. So we've done some lessons from the science and history as well. So I'm kind of like using that for our science and history-ish a little bit. And my plan was to still do Winter Promise, but actually switch our hideaways in history to medieval, Middle Ages time period, because I think we're all just kind of getting bored with ancient because we've done it multiple times. I don't know why I keep going back to it. So I was like, well, we're going to do that. But we haven't picked it up because I'm not interested. I don't know. It's just, I think it's the fact that there's so much to read. There's like a couple pages of reading. It's not like a ton, but like it still goes over their head. So then I have to explain it. I have to like maybe find a video or something too. Then there's like other activities that we could be doing to reinforce that. And I don't know, when I feel like overwhelmed, I just don't want to do it. And I'm like, I will tell you, I've been tempted with Black Friday sales to choose another curriculum that was it seemed similar. Maybe it was like it was a different style and people do like this one, but it was also still continual lessons like daily, and it was a lot of information similar to what that was. And I was like, why do I feel the need to do that? Why, like, my girls are still young. They aren't gonna always like understand and grasp everything. They are getting some history in with these patchwork studies, but what can I do? And then I got like, what can I do to make it still fun and interesting? And I was like, duh, I already have things that we haven't really completed yet. So we're going back to what I have and not spending more money. That's one thing. But I have these rabbit trails through history, and I've done videos on them. I will link them and everything. You can also search for them on my channel. But this is ancient history, rabbit trails through history, ancient. And then I also have rabbit trails through medieval history right here. We have done over half of these in the ancient, but like, you know, here and there we kind of like don't do them. I didn't feel like this was enough for my middle schooler doing history, and so we were still doing history with her last year, but I'm like, it can be enough for my younger ones. And so we are going to pick these up. I also do still have this Middle Ages from Simple Studies. I have tons of reference books and things, plus we have the library. And so I was like, I'm going to make it easier on myself, and we're going to enjoy history. So, and honestly, like we might pick back up. I do have 1 or 2 of their rabbit trails science, so maybe we'll do that sometimes. My girls really like these rabbit trails, and I always like, oh, you know, maybe it's not enough. But they really do like these rabbit trails because they have like usually a hands-on experiment or craft or something in each lesson. And so you know, I'm not always great at going on all the rabbit trails, but like it can still be enough like with what we have. So that is my new goal for history. We are not going to like drive ourselves crazy working on curriculum that we don't like. I feel like you have curriculum, and if you get it and if you don't like it, like or at least for me, I'm not motivated to do it. And so I'm like, a curriculum that we like, maybe it's lighter or not as in depth, but a curriculum that we like is going to get done more. And like, that's the most important thing, is to do those things and to learn. And like, so like if you have it and you're not doing it, I'm not picking it up, then it's not getting done and it's not worth it. So we are going to push Winter Promise to the side because I have not been motivated to touch it. So we are going to move on from it for now. Who knows what the future holds? I like to say, like, we might come back to it, but we might not. So, but I do have it. And like I said, you know, I kind of have like a lot of curriculum around. So who knows what the future holds for that. With my youngest, I have mentioned off and on that like I felt like I wasn't sure where she was with phonics and things. She's been tested with our public virtual school, and she tested out fine, like on level. But they did offer this app and like 6 weeks of it to see how she does with it. It's been really good. I do like the app, and she's getting used to it. It's been a struggle a little bit because they really ask and kind of require you, if possible, to do 150 minutes a week on that app. So that is 30 minutes a day. That is a lot. She is 7 years old. She does like to be on her iPad, and we aren't very strict with our like screen time, but like 150 minutes on this app is a lot. So I have broken it up sometimes for 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Sometimes she does the full 30. We do a timer, and she's been doing better and almost achieving her total 150 minutes. And I can see some progress, I think. I haven't really picked up the phonics program, foundations program that we've been doing. We're on B now. We haven't picked it up a ton this month because she's been doing that app so much that I'm like, I kind of just let her go. And like I said, we were kind of doing some lighter school. My girls have certain things that they know need to get done each day. And sometimes that's all that we do, like some math and language arts pages in workbooks. So I do like the app. I don't know if we'll continue because it is kind of like overwhelming, and I feel like we can't do a whole lot more because her brain is like kind of fried afterwards with it. So we'll see. We're going to continue the 6 weeks. I think that will probably lead us up to Christmas with it. And then we'll see how things go after that. We'll probably pick up foundations again and go through that. I do think she is progressing with that. Not much has really changed with my middle daughter with her curriculum, which is a surprise. We have done, I've done some like spelling pages even for both of them. Like I found a Teachers Pay Teachers where you can edit it and edit in your own spelling words. But that is one thing that like I don't remember each week to do. So if I'm gonna do that, I need to sit down and like make several of them at a time so that I'm not having to do it every week because I will forget every week. But I've gone back to my daughter's spelling book just because it's just easier for my 4th grader to use a spelling book. So that is pretty much our November. December is going to be another crazy month. Like I said, like I know December is going to be crazy with holidays and performances. We have multiple performances and practices like every day, pretty much for a few weeks. And then after the first 3 weeks, then I think we should be good, like chill time, because my oldest will be out of school and we will have 2 weeks for her to be home, and I'm not going to do school with my younger two. I'm not going to do school with them. We are going to do some Christmas stuff here and there, but not tons. But you can stay tuned to hear what we have planned for Christmas time. Well, let me know how your November's been and what you're looking forward to in December, and I will talk to you later.